teaching their children. They kept teaching the hadith. They kept teaching the Quran. They kept teaching privately, even as the oppression on the ulama increased. And as they pushed back, as they did idfa, the system started to crack. Adnan Menderes came to power in 1960s, and he told them adhan should be done as it was done in Medina. He converted it back to the Arabic language, back to the tune of Bilal ibn Rabah, back to the tune of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Although he was toppled by a coup as a result, their oppressors did not have the power to bring back the oppression again. Those mothers had made the crack, and it was never going to be fixed. In 1980s, the system cracked again. They kept going. They didn't have the army. They didn't have wealth. They didn't have the tools they thought they needed. In 1982, they cracked the system again. But the army would do a military coup again. But they didn't go home. They kept teaching. They kept pushing. 1996 and the like. I will give you more reasonable examples, because I reject that our ummah is weak. I reject that our ummah is defeated. I reject that this is a powerless ummah. So I want to take this opportunity before I jump in a car and rush to Newark Airport to catch the only flight that gets me to Tashkent on a Tuesday morning, so that my wife doesn't get angry, because she said to me, you can go and do what you want, but you have to be in Tashkent on the 27th before our guests who are traveling with us go to the lobby. Sumaya, I promise I'll make my flight inshallah. Ibadallah, I want to leave you with this. I want to tell you about my ummah. I want to tell you about my ummah. I want to tell you about a land called Turkey, a land where a man named Mustafa Kemal and the Young Turks toppled Sultan Abdul Hamid II because they did not want Islam in Turkey anymore. They passed laws banning the hijab. They forbid the printing of the Quran in Arabic, and they started closing madrasas and the awqaf, and they said the happiest 100 years of pushing back, 100 years of da'wah, 100 years of trying to remove the chains of Ataturk. In 2008, the hijab ban was reversed, the minarets were built again, the adhan roared, and the Hagia Sophia was open again. Ataturk went, but Islam stayed. Ataturk went, and Allah stayed. Let me tell you about my ummah. Let me tell you about my ummah. Not this ummah that you claim is weak. Let me tell you about mine. My mother is from Algeria. My grandfather fought the French. 132 years occupation. The French would line up the hijabis and tell them, we are going to take off your hijab to liberate you. I had a great aunt who had both breasts chopped off because she refused to take her hijab off. We had my great uncle Tijani, 21 years of age. His cousin is walking down the road, she's pregnant. The French gendarmes come out, they take out their machetes and they say, let's see what gender the baby is. He grabs a rifle and he shoots to save his cousin. They come that night and riddle him with bullets. 132 years, they tried to erase Islam. They tried to erase the Arabic language. But do you know that the materially inferior Algerian Muslims, materially inferior, we're going to baptize you to remove the stain of Islam. Ibadallah, this is a true story, it's not a joke. They lined up the Bosnians, and there were many Muslims in Bosnia at that time. Ethnically European Bosnians, not immigrants. They lined them up one by one. They started at 6 a.m. saying in the name of the Father, the Ghost and the Son, I don't remember what they say, and they put in the water and they put it out. When it got to about 3 p.m, a Bosnian looks out of the line and says, guys, how long is this going to take? Asr is coming in, I need to pray. Asr is coming in, I need to pray. The Austro-Hungarians left, but Allah stayed. The Yugoslavian kingdom came. They divided Yugoslavia into 9 banvinas to make sure the Muslims were the minority in each. They began to shut down awqaf and the masajid, but the mothers kept teaching, the fathers kept preaching, the youth kept praying. In 1940s, they had the Muslim question. How do we address that no matter what we say to these Bosnians, they love Muhammad first. They love Muhammad first. They love Muhammad first. Sallallahu sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So they decided to shut down 97% of the awqaf. They decided to shut down the madrasas. But the Bosnians, all they had to do was give up Islam and they would be left alone. Instead, they prayed in secret. They prayed in the only remaining masjid. They refused to give up Islam. And when Ratko Mladic and Karadzic began to ethnically cleanse Banja Luka, when they committed genocide in Srebrenica, when they began to massacre, when Clinton here in America was told by Mitterrand that we would prefer to see the Muslims killed because a Muslim majority state in the heart of Bosnia is an unnatural phenomenon. The Muslims were abandoned, ya ibadallah, they were abandoned. Go to Bosnia today, go to the hills. Do you hear the Chetniks today? You do not. There's the adhan that rings loud. The oppressors left Allah staying. The oppressors left the Muslims staying. The oppressors left Islam staying. Because La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Ibadallah, in 1995 they signed a peace treaty agreement and the deal was Bosnians would be allowed to go home. They wanted to go back to Banja Luka, which was the capital of the Bosnian Serbs in Bosnia. The Chetniks who took over Banja Luka, they refused to allow Bosnians to return home. They allowed only 10 families just so they could say in the media that we returned them. In 2001, the Ghazi Huzrat Bey Masjid, a waqf that was built from 1532, a waqf that was built from 1532, a waqf that was built from 1532, that lasted until today because they could not close it. Because Ghazi Huzrat Bey said, Allahumma, you haven't given me children, and because you haven't Al-Jazair raj'at li. Oh Prophet Muhammad, congratulations. We returned Algeria to you. 132 years we would have kept going. 132 years we didn't forget you. 132 years, Ya Rasulullah, we moved for you. Ya Muhammad, Mabrouk alayk al-Jazair raj'at li. And the French, they said, Sacré bleu, c'est quoi ça? We do not understand. We came to civilize them. Who is this Muhammad that they have not met, that they have not seen, that they have not sat with? Why do they love him so much? Why do they move for him so much? What did he promise them? He promised us Jannah and Algeria was free. Let me tell you about my ummah. Ibadallah, Ibadallah. Let me tell you about my ummah. My ummah is not weak. My ummah is not weak. It was never weak. Let me tell you about my ummah. In a land called